All right. Okay. Well, thanks. Look, thanks very much for agreeing to this. And goodness me, who do you have on your shoulder there?
Just a young parrot, an Alexandrine. It's my son's, but she's always out of the cage during the day with us.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Now we may get joined by my budgerigars behind me. I cover them up. In theory, you cover them up, and the dark means they're supposed to go quiet. But a few of my recordings lately have got them joining in, so put up with that. Yeah, that's one thing I really miss about Australia is all the birds.
Yeah,
Goodness me.
Jenny's got quite a few here, so
Ah, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's brilliant. Yeah. All right. So tell me, how are you? How are you both settling in? How's everything? How's everything going?
Really good. We've been doing really good.
Right. So no regrets at all about going to Australia?
No, I really like it here.
Yeah. Miss anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot. We've been to the beach.
maybe some.
No. What do you miss?
No, like probably my family, but because I've been talking to them too, so it's not really much of a problem.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages to having Skype and various chat things like that. That you can keep in contact so much easier. It's even like when you're couples. You were using Skype when you were getting to know each other.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
Yeah.
Jen used to head to the internet cafe, and her family kind of doing the same thing, so the connection's pretty good, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Miller and I started off with writing letters and sort of went to internet cafes after that. But of course, what's the fun thing with Filipinas when you're in an internet cafe, when you've got people around you?
It's nice of them.
They interrupt, don't they? They look over your shoulder. They make comments.
At the corner of the street, you see one.
Yeah. No, I mean people in the internet cafe will look over your shoulder while you're recording. Yeah, it's fun of the Philippines. Yeah. So tell me, how did you find the visa process? How did you find working with us?
It's been pretty good with because Scott introduced me to down under visa when we met up in Cebu. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we both decided to go through our visa process with you guys.
Yeah.
It's been pretty smooth, and we do a lot of things, trying not to get like having anxiety or paranoia, waiting for the confirmations every time we like during our partner visa. It was quite a bit stressful, but you don't really have to think too much about it. So you do a lot of things. You do a lot of like going around, doing some activities together. So we done at the end. It's really really good, like having to end up together and trusting you guys to process all our papers and helping us with it. That's really
Yeah.
good.
So how were we with helping you deal with the stress of the process?
Well, like the email that you guys gave us saying that just for me, but I don't know about Scott, but
Yeah.
like the email saying that like you're doing your best, like you've been doing the best you can with the process, and you can't really say to us and when it's gonna come because you're dealing between us and the immigration, and you can't really say anything unless they say something. And I haven't really hassled you guys with anything about it, so I think it's been pretty good trying not to stress myself on a daily basis about it.
Yes, it's something that's very much appreciated. Sometimes we have clients, they go through several visas with us, and I had to tell somebody the other day, I said, look, I think we've been here before, haven't we? I've told you all this before. I've told you we can't give fixed dates. I'm looking back on history of emails and seeing all the same things about going into a flap and panic, and I said, look, there's
Yeah, I know.
absolutely nothing we can do. I wish we could.
Yeah, I haven't really panicked, but it's mainly like it's in the back of your thoughts all the time, like thinking, when am I gonna get it, or am I gonna get through it, or am I gonna be staying here, or is our marriage gonna jeopardize because of it, or something like that. Like you have those thoughts, but I know as well that you've been doing a lot of process and not just ours. so I don't want to hassle you as well. And it's really helped us.
Yeah. Yeah, we're quite happy to answer questions, always have been. But I guess it's one of those things that, we would do 250 partner visas every year, and we haven't had a refusal for about 4 years, so we don't actually worry in ourselves, and we hope as much as we can get across to clients that they don't have to worry, and I hope we were as successful as we could be with that. Sorry.
It's really the results that counts at the end, like what you get and how happy you're gonna get when you get the results, and seeing other couples and other people getting happy about it. That's really stress is gone.
I can't remember. Did you join the Philippines to Australia Facebook group?
Yeah, I'm on it, and we kind of share the Facebook.
Yeah. I have something else.
Right. But did you find that help seeing, the constant stream of clients saying, "I got my visa," and all the good news?
Yeah, it is.
It does help. It helps seeing them, like their wedding photos, when they, visit various places. Sometimes their relatives come and visit. Just see them building lives here, I think the energy should go into not being so worried about the visa, because you guys can handle that, and if you've got a genuine relationship, you should just be concentrating your energy on the relationship, because it's a big deal, someone immigrating,
Yeah.
Oh, it certainly is, and goodness, imagine if it wasn't stressful for you. What would that say about whether you valued your relationship or not? But yeah, we found since we started that group, we get a lot less worried clients, because they can see, well, okay, definitely is a light at the end of the tunnel, because otherwise, geez, you're getting eaten there. Otherwise, you're just you're sitting there and you're completely in the dark and you don't know what's going on, and all the worst thoughts come into your head. But I hope that helps a lot, and I hope our regular contact and regular blog articles and things like that, I hope all of that's helped along the way.
Yeah, it did. For sure, with a lot of couples, it did help them, because you can see by their posts and the comments they make, and how happy they are other couples.
Yeah, exactly. So we try as much as we can to make a bit of a family of clients there. We've even had particularly in Queensland, we've had groups of clients who met via the Philippines to Australia group, all clients of ours, and you might have recalled pictures of them getting together and having dinner together. Great groups of clients. It's fabulous for us to be able to see that, and certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is helpful for them. Like Genie's been to a Filipino fiesta down in Gippsland a couple of months back, which was good fun, and there's a Filipino restaurant in the next town from us. It's just 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
We're in the country, in a rural area, so that's a good one too. And that lady, I think she's been here about 25 years, but the food's pretty authentic,
Right.
It's good to meet people, and if you can, meet people on your group, then even better, because they've been through the same process,
Yeah, that's something which, when Mila first came to Australia years ago, there weren't quite as many Filipinos around, but having, I knew some Filipinos in our town before she arrived, and the first thing I did when she arrived was to bring her around and introduce her, so she didn't feel quite so alone. But you look like you settled in quite well. You look quite comfortable there. That's.
Yeah, Jeannie's doing a lot of things like she brings a bit of her culture into here, but she's like adopted to a lot of things like really, really well. Even her driving lessons with me, she was doing a bit of auto, but she wants to drive manual, and she's doing really well with that.
Really?
She's pretty impressive, really,
Oh, well, I won't mention Miller's driving lessons.
Car out there at all,
Yeah.
She really gets in on stuff like that, don't you? So,
Yeah, I enjoy like hunting for roadside trading. It's really nice when you see a good one, you get a bargain.
Yeah.
We've got all like honour boxes on the small farms and things around here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet that was a shock the first time you saw them.
Yeah. They're pretty good. They're really good. They make a lot of good stuff like jams. And they got their own brownies.
I remember Mila when she first saw one of those, she said, now if that was in the Philippines, the money would be gone, the produce would be gone, and probably the trailer would be gone too.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe that people would just leave things on the side of the road and trust people, to be honest, but it's...
Yeah, but the honesty of the people around here is quite amazing. Because they don't live like, you're right with the produce and they don't go, like, people are really honest when it comes to those kind of, like, the roadside trading. It's really good.
Yeah, that's... yeah, so it sounds like you most definitely like Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, like, it's really good because our house is like where we are now, it's like 1 hour to everything. Like we're an hour from the city, an hour to the beach. Like we're just at the back of us is the mountains, so it's really amazing. Like you get a lot of variety.
Yes, all a little different to the Philippines. How are you coping with the fact that there aren't people everywhere that you look? I mean, you can't do anything in the Philippines without tripping over people.
Like how it's not so many people, not as crowded.
I like it because I'm actually I'm not really kind of a social person. I'm really quiet, so I don't get along with too much like on a very big crowd. Like I like how like there's fences between the houses and you don't have to talk to your neighbors all the time. You see them like waving or saying hello is okay, and it really suits me. Like yeah, it does suit me a lot. It suits me how the lifestyle we've had here is pretty good.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to the people. I mean, there are some Filipinos who really don't like being in the country because they're fairly social and they're used to that. And probably most have a little bit of difficulty coping at first. Mila was fine, and she used to go on. Years ago, I was an agricultural consultant. I used to get around the countryside, and she used to come with me and learn to love the Aussie bush and the open spaces, and settled in wonderfully. But yeah, Filipinos are probably the most adaptable people in the world when it comes to just fitting in with different cultures, different countries, and highly adaptable.
Yeah, I can tell to myself that I really fit in on what we chose our lifestyle to be here. Yeah, I really like it. It's so quiet. You don't hear like karaoke in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Tell me about it. But mind you, we've got a fairly noisy household. We've got household helpers, and we've got 8 kids here, so it's never quiet. If I do a recording, I've got to order everybody to be very, very quiet.
Yeah, it really fits me. And I think it goes for like the girls or any other couples that really want, like when they're allowed couple or if they want to socialize, because they can get that too here. Like it's not easy to do it. Like they got clubs, they got a lot of groups. Like even in the community, they got those walking clubs that they can go to. So it's not really impossible for you if you feel like lonely because you think you're just by yourself or with your partner. You got a lot of things you can do here. There's actually no limit if you know how to go, like if you know how to source yourself.
Yeah. Well, this is true, but I guess the most important thing it appears to me, just looking, you seem to be quite comfortable with each other. So that's the bottom line. So obviously, no regrets for either of you.
Yeah, no. Jeannie has resourced everything around her really well though, she can go out and have a chat when she wants, and she can have a bit of space when she wants, and she's got into some hobbies, and It is really hard. Like, I hadn't imagined how hard it'd be for somebody to immigrate. I mean, it's there's so many different levels involved in it,
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing pretty well, I reckon,
Yes, I'm sure you benefited from having a supporting man there.
Yeah, it's been really good and really supportive.
But
Yeah.
it is a lot harder than I would have thought. And if I talk to anybody considering it, I'll say that, like, you've got to really be prepared to find some things in yourself you probably haven't found before, because there's a big commitment being made by your partner to completely immigrate. I mean, it's not a visit and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all talking to each other, actually listening to each other. That's trying to do more listening than talking.
Yeah,
that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. And it is a big opportunity too for both people in the relationship as well, it's rejuvenated myself, and Jeannie's probably been able to reinvent herself a little bit too,
Yeah,
So
I'm really on my comfort zone in here with Scott and being around the house, being around with good people. It's really comfortable to just live how it is.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong when it comes to the compromising side and the reinventing of yourself, as you said. Mila and I both look back at each other and think of just, how much we've adapted. In my case, well, she came to Australia. She was there for, can't even remember how many years, and then we've been here for 9 years. So, she adjusted to life in Australia. I've adjusted to life here, and I can remember the days when if I had a relative visit, after a few days I was starting to go, ooh, when are they going? I can't stand this. And now we've got, oh goodness, I think we've got about there's about 16 people in our household. I'm not kidding. There's 8 kids. The oldest one is 16, the youngest one is 7 months, so there's big age gaps there. Of course, when you get lots of kids, they tend to look after each other a lot of the time, but nowadays, when the kids go to school, it's too quiet for me. I can't wait for them to come home. But years ago, I couldn't have stood that. But, I've adjusted, and Mila's a completely different person to who she used to be. She used to be very timid, and now she's not at all. She speaks her mind, mostly because I encouraged her to. So, yes, again, supporting each other, that's a huge part. Lots of listening.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. Just to finish up, what would you say to people who are in a similar position, who've met somebody overseas and thought, right, we want to be together. What are we going to do now?
Well, I just think you've got to consider that you're probably not, as the guy or as the Aussie partner, whoever it may be, you're probably not going to face the things you think you're going to face. Just have a completely open mind and be ready to step back and think about things as they happen, because it's a lot bigger and a lot more multi-level than you think when somebody comes into your country and they're going to stay. They want to become Australian in a sense, So, and for Genie, I'm not sure, what would you say to the person immigrating?
Well, during our process of doing the visa and that and being together, I think the down and the visa has really helped me a lot to be where I am now and with the both of us in our relationship is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I would really recommend you guys, if someone would want to be together and they don't want to do it themselves, or they're having doubts that if they're going to be failing, because you guys really did a great job to help us be together here.
Yeah, it's a huge stress. I don't think you'd want to be trying to bring someone into your country, and I've seen things about my own world here that I would never have seen if Jeannie hadn't have came and pointed them out, you know. If you're dealing with all of these things and two personalities and two families and two cultures and also the visa process, which is complicated, I don't know if you'd even give your relationship much of a chance, you know. So it's really best to pass that bit on to somebody who just takes it all away, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. It's so convenient for us to just sit here and try to relax and trust you guys to do all the work for us. It's really convenient.
Yes, I could well imagine. I mean, of course, we only see the people who are coming through us, but you know, I can certainly well imagine that if somebody was dealing with the stress of trying to work out what does the government actually mean when they ask for this, could this be right, or is this right, or is this wrong? I mean, they could end up taking it out on each other and on their relationship quite easily. I mean, it's a challenge enough, the fact that you're starting off a relationship when you're both in two different countries, without having to add stress to the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's like the start, like it's like the beginning. If you want to be together, you're gonna have to get through it, and it's already quite stressful having to think about it if you're gonna be able to stay together, and knowing that someone's gonna be able to do it for you and do it without any hustle or like, and makes like also making you feel good that hey, you should just sit and relax and try to like entertain yourself, like give your time together with you and your partner, and just try to trust the person that's doing it, or like with you guys that done on the visa team. It's really handy. It's really handy for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the person who's coming into Australia is going to be looking at, you know, just things like either finding a job or starting a business. Like Jeannie and I have formed a partnership and we're slowly starting a business, and all that's complicated, as you know, and it's all government complicated stuff. So you've got to have accountants, and that's enough to deal with, as well as your relationship, getting a job or starting a business, and then the visa thing on top would, it would just create so much stress. I'm sure people do attempt it, but I don't think it'd be a healthy way to go about it, you know. Like, we spent 3 months together in the Philippines. Some people don't get to spend that much time at all, you know.
This is very true, yeah.
You know, so, and we still have a lot to, you know, learn about each other, and when Jeannie came, so, and yeah, need to consider, everybody who goes through it really needs to consider not doing that bit themselves, you know.
Yeah. No, we appreciate hearing that, of course, because I mean, this isn't just a job for us. This is really a vocation. It means everything to us. You know, best thing I ever did was to meet Miller, and you know, we're happier and more in love every year as time goes on. It was the best thing I ever did, and you know, being able to help others, it means everything to us. It gives us purpose in what we're doing, and hearing good news, it's exhilarating for us as well as we know it's very comforting for those who are considering doing this themselves, and and those going through it, if they can, you know, see a video and hear a couple who are obviously, you know, done it, and you settled in there happy, and maybe they don't understand the parrot on your shoulder, but other than that, they can see, they'll be able to see a happy and contented couple and know that you know, that will be them one day soon.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah.
That'll be really nice if they do.
Yeah. No, well, look,
It is good if people, you know, I think it's a pretty unique thing that people can find each other so far away from such diverse like cultures and areas and you know, everything like that, and create something pretty special, you know. And there's many different, you know, parts to it, and like both families support and all of that, but having the immigration agents, I mean, it's the very core of it, you know. Like nobody's going to get anywhere without the immigration, you know, and having an agent to deal with it. It's the very most important part of it. Otherwise, you haven't got it to work on, you know, the relationship.
Yes, and well, if you don't get that visa, well, then you get nowhere. But anyway, look, thank you very much for your time. I've enjoyed this very much. I'm sure you have too. It's nice hearing, it's great hearing testimonials of people saying down under visa, great, fantastic, go to them. But you've talked about a lot of other things too, which, listeners will benefit from that. And, you're quite clearly getting things together there and, working together and growing together. That's fantastic. So I'd like to, on behalf of Down Under Visa and our clients, I'd like to thank you very much for your time and your generosity.
Yep.
Oh,
thank you too, Jeff. And
thank you for listening.
thank you to everybody there.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right.
Good for you guys there and for everybody else in the Down Under community as well.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Okay, well again, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day there.
Yep,
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
too.
Okay,
Goodbye.
thanks, bye-bye.